Fallout 4, we're doing the achievement All Sugared Up. Okay, this is part of the Nuka World add-on. And one of the things out there, we got a couple achievements. Basically making the soda mixes. So all sugared up, we need to go out and get 40 of the creatures. And that's really not going to be an issue for you. But right here is a quick look at the end. So get the achievement. And then pretty much the rest of the video is going to be how I got to where I got here. But, you know, the thing is not much video is needed to kind of help you with this. Pretty much all you need to do is, it has to be the mixes too. You just can't find a victory or a wild or a quartz or something and drink them. It has to be one of the mixes. Now, when you first get out to Nuka World, 5 of the recipes are given to you right off the bat. Now, the other achievements for finding all 20 of or mixing all 20 of the sodas, but you have to find the books first. Even if you had the combination to make the mixes, you can't make them until you get the recipes first. But 5 of the recipes are given to you right off the bat, and I can't actually say where I was with this, but I went ahead and mixed up some of the sodas, and in general, even the base game and even the previous games as well, never really did a lot with the Nuka Colas, the Nuka Quantums, as far as like drinking them. In Fallout 4, you had the Nuka Cherry, the Quantum, and the regular cola. And basically, I saved them, but I stashed them mostly for mix or cooking or whatever, or for making chems. I believe the Nuka Cola was part of the overdrive or something, or one of those chems that I used a lot of. But out here in Nuka World, like I mentioned, we got 5 of the mixes already, and I think I went ahead and went out and mixed up some of these, and basically just went out in the world, started looking for things to kill. Now, off in the little right hand, or in the right hand corner, you can see like a little bowl of soup or something, and that means like the effects of your food are active. Now, I'm not taking any chems because this way I can see some of the cola mixes last a while, and then some don't. But right next to that bowl of soup or whatever, you see like the little pill there. That means that the effect of the soda is active. So that's why I decided not to take any chems while I'm doing this. So I know they say like right there the mix stopped. So some of the mixes they don't really last that long, and then some will last a little longer. So just keep an eye out on that. If you're not seeing that little pill there, you know that your stuff. But like right here, you can see all the stuff that I've eaten, and it shows up on the lower right corner. It's like a little bowl of soup or whatever. So anyway, when I would see some kind of creature or whatever, I would take one of the sodas, Nuka Cola Buzz or whatever it is, and as you see the little thing pop up, getting out the Dry Rock Gulch. Anyway, out the Dry Rock here, and the place is littered with all these bloodworms, so I'm like, oh, take me a soda, go out there and shoot me some worms. But as you can see, that particular cola doesn't seem to last very long. Have had some that actually lasted quite a long time. I want to say like the Nuka Side or some other ones. I was like, this one lasts quite a bit. But the truth is, if this was not an achievement related thing, I probably would not be wasting my time with it. Okay, between all the food and cans, I'm basically good when it comes to this kind of stuff. So, like I was mentioning before, I just don't use the colas at all. You know, the Nuka Cola, the cherry, the Quantum. I don't drink them or whatever. Uh, the effects just don't last all that long. So, like, if I had like limited amount of food and I had a Quantum and my health was low, I might drink it because it will give you quite a bit of health. Of course, there's always reds, and whatever you're doing, but nevertheless, we were trying to get our all sugared up achievement, and like I said, I made a bunch of the mixes that I could, what was available for me. See, like prior to coming out to Nuka World, I kind of knew a little bit about these, that we were going to be mixing sodas, and I saved a bunch of empty bottles because I figured, I don't know, like maybe you would need them, but that's not really the case. Basically, whatever it is, if you need, an orange and a cherry and a regular cola to make whatever mix that is, then that's all you need. I thought maybe you would need like an empty bottle and mix them all in or something to that effect, but that's not really the case. So, what I would recommend is that when you head out to Nuka World, save all the flavored sodas that you come across. What I did up there in the overboss's crib, one of the dressers or whatever, is where I would put all my colas in. And you're going to find them all about, and I think it's the operators. You go up in there for some reason, and it's a good thing, is that they got a machine in there and it respawns colas. So, and they have all, they got grape and whatever flavors are in there. So I take them, and then in the marketplace, one of the vendors in there would sell a decent amount of the flavors as well. So, and then as you traverse the Nuka World, you will come across quite a few of them anyway. So I would just stash them into my crib, and then when it came time to make them, I'd go there and grab what I needed to make whatever. So. Couple of sting wings, and they are one of my sought out insects, creatures, whatever in the main game as well. The stingwing meat is I forget what it gives you, but it must have been something because I always go out looking for them. So that, the bears, squirrel bits, the blood leaves, whatever the situation is. I do make a lot of bit of food that does, whatever the effects are that I think works for me. So, see, so the dry rock here, I'm like, I got a good boost on all my kills already. I'm not really here to do any of the quests as far as talking to the robots and that kind of thing. Eventually we will be asked to go out and find the source of the bloodworms, which is a queen and one of the places, and take them out, but the bloodworms never stop, they just keep coming. And I wish I could have figured out how to keep the gator claws coming, but that stupid cloning machine, I don't know, it's like afterwards it makes gazelles, and I don't know, I just couldn't figure it out. I couldn't find the information on how to change it back, and at some point you're like, screw it, dude, fucking wasting too much time with this shit. I got 30 or so of the gator claw steaks, and I'll make it run with that.
Nice.
A couple times through Nuka World. I think the first time I did it, I went ahead and went the way of the Raider, and did the power plan or whatever at the end, and got my achievements and all that kind of stuff. And then went out into the world, and then the second time I played, I decided to go off and kill the Raiders, and I don't know. There's a lot less game there if you do that, and this place is basically a ghost town. If you decide to kill off all the Raiders, there's like nobody out here. And if your option was to kill the Raiders, the one girl will give you the quest to take them all out. But what irritates me is that all the vendors still wearing their collars. It's like, all right, I killed off all the vendors. Basically, guys are free now, but nothing's different. It's still the same. They're still walking around. The thing is just there's no Raiders anywhere. So if I decide to go through Fallout again, I will not kill off the Raiders, and then maybe not spend as much time setting up settlements, because one of my beef is that by the time Nuka World came out, I was a good part through Fallout 4 already, and I don't know, all but a few of the settlements are done. So the last thing I want to do is take all my time that I used to set up settlements for settlers or whatever to kick them out so I can put raiders in there. Now, if I haven't set up all the settlements and they were still, undiscovered or whatever, then I'd be probably more inclined to set some up for some raiders. But I didn't really care for that part, the way I look at it, with a new add-on, they could have created, more settlements that weren't, already part of the settlements already, that you could make into raiders instead of kicking out the settlements you already had. I don't know, probably can talk about it with a bunch of gamers, the pros and cons to it. That's just me. I just didn't really care for the way it went down. I put a lot of work in and put settlers in there, and of course the settlements, you can spend some time talking about that kind of thing as well, because you set them up, you give them food, water, everything they need, and they still will go from like to dislike, whatever. But I don't know, you put a lot of work into getting them set up, and then you go there, you're like, all right, I'm going to kick them all out, so I can put raiders in there. And then the structure and beds and all that were good, but you'd have to get rid of all the boosts and put up stuff that, was related to the raiders. I don't know. I just really wasn't in it. The only reason why I did it was to get my achievement. So nevertheless, we are working on the Sugared Up achievement, and like I showed you in the beginning, pretty much just kept an eye on my effects there to see that the soda was still active, and then went out and seeked out things to shoot. And I suppose if you were on pure survival, I guess this is like once you die, I didn't really answer that, because all I know is, I think on survival that the effects of food, aren't present. So I don't know how that would work, to be honest with you. I'm not really one for the survival thing. Maybe if the fast travel worked, I might have thought about it, but I just, I don't know. It's just not for me. I don't know how the hell you can be on one end of the map and a settlement comes under attack. How the hell you're supposed to get over there? Yeah, I suppose you get good in with the Brotherhood of Steel so that you can call a bird in. Anyway, we're not here to talk about that. This is about the All Sugared Up achievement. And if you're a person that likes doing the survival, that's your thing. That's the beauty part of it. All gamers have got their own things going on. So Anyway, time for another soda here. Get to killing me some crickets. So, like presently I'm playing Skyrim, and then, you know, when I was playing Fallout 4, can't really think. I was well over 100 on my level, and at some point, you know, the Idiot Savant is one of the things that I pick right away because, you know, that's what you need to do in order to get your, you know, ranked up that high. You know, but when he comes up and does his little laugh, I never really thought much of it. But then, like the four-leaf clover, you know, it's got a little bang, you know, when you come up, you know, sort of like your critical hit there. I just, I don't know, thought maybe it could have been like an option because, like, when I got to the Grim Reaper, I had to reload the game where I didn't have it because that thing was so annoying that I couldn't have it, man. I mean, it's just all of a sudden it was working all the time. The Grim Reaper would pop up and it would refill your AP and your critical hit meter and all that, but the little bang, it was just seriously annoying, and I just don't know if it was necessary, you know, or giving you the option to turn that little sound effect down. It was basically just part of your your regular volume. So if you turn your sound effects down, so it wasn't so annoying you couldn't hear nothing. And as much as I like the Grim Reaper perks and everything, I decided just not to have it because it was just too annoying. And I can't believe that, you know, it is the way it was. You know, with all the options in the game, you know, you think they could have had a, you know, a volume just for those effects, because I liked it. I liked having the Grim Reaper perk there, but the little thing popping up and it was so loud, I just I couldn't deal with it. I just like the idiot savant, you know, I had to have, and him coming up and laugh, I don't know, it's like it didn't really bother me all that much. And then you know, when the four-leaf clover would pop, the little noise it made, and I'm like, all right. But then when the Grim Reaper, I just I couldn't have it. It was so loud and annoying, and it was popping up all the time. I was just like, this is basically pissing me off. So I went back and not equipped those perks. So that's all sugared up.